Everybody, good evening. So it's later on in the night, it's 10 o'clock, and I just feel like just letting a lot of stuff go. So as I'm sitting here watching a video of one of my favorite YouTubers who's also a motivational speaker, he has his own podcast and everything. I was in the mood to, listen to some music at first and just start showing so much love because I have a group of friends who I talk to on a regular basis, but at the same time, I wanted to wait till Wednesday to say something because what I have to say is going to be big. And then what I'm trying to do for my birthday, it's also a part of this conversation. So I wanted to wait till Wednesday. And, you know how that is. We got to do it big. We got to make it good. But one thing that was on my mind that I wanted to talk to my fellow ladies out there. I don't know whether you're single or you're in a relationship with somebody. I feel like this little piece of information would be good for y'all because this will help you to avoid some things and learn how to stand up to men that do you dirty. Now, this is no way, shape, or form, and like, am I, how you say, aiming for all men? There are some good men out here. And if you're one of the ones that has those good men out there that don't, lie to you, don't play games, they serious about you, they serious about your relationship, they take it very fucking serious, then congratulations to you, much love and respect to you. But for the ones who's dating assholes, who's dating flaky motherfuckers, this information is for y'all. I feel like there is no need to reward a man that is always being flaky to you, for one, always lying to you, and always treats you horrible. And the best punishment I was told to do, which I'm already doing now and it's working, is to pull back. Now, a very smart man I got advice from once said that you don't reward men for being an asshole to you. Don't reward a man for what he's doing to you. Like, don't give up your goods because you're in love with him or you're crazy about him. And if he's degrading you, he's disrespecting you, he's giving you very little contact, and he's doing some real, asshole type mess, the best thing you could do is pull back. You go from pulling back maybe about 10-20% to pull it all the way back if you feel like you're not getting nowhere with him and that he is not responding to you putting up boundaries. And I started to notice every time you set boundaries up with a guy, he instantly get upset with you. The whole situation becomes very uncomfortable and he feels like you're doing him dirty. And this is at the same time, you could spot a narcissistic person as well in the midst of all this, because when a man makes you feel like you owe him something, or he makes you feel guilty because you are making the right moves and you doing what you think is best to protect yourself, they will do everything they can, from guilt tripping you to gaslighting you to belittling you. They would do everything they can to make you feel and look bad, and then make you question yourself, make you question your sanity. And that is so unhealthy and so messed up, and I don't think women should be falling for that shit. So if a man is not giving you what you want and he's not treating you the way he's supposed to treat you, after you done set those boundaries up, after you already let him know ever since y'all first met what you want and what you're not looking for in a man, what you could tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate, and he's still doing those things even though you already set those boundaries up, it's time for you to pull back. Meaning, stop giving him all your time, stop calling him all hours of the day and night, stop texting him, stop visiting him anywhere he wants you to visit him at, and stop giving him your cookie. Because the more you keep doing this after he's already shown you he doesn't have no respect for your boundaries, it's just making you look bad. It's making you look, and it's going to make you feel bad. then he's going to be in his head all the time thinking, well, I don't have to show this girl any respect. I don't have to respect her boundaries. I don't have to do this and do that if she keeps giving me what I want. It's like I'm clearly showing her boundaries doesn't mean nothing to me. I'm clearly showing her that I can go out and talk to other women, share my body with other women, give you very little contact and still come back to you when I need you. Or if you're the last resort because I try to exhaust all of my options, I know you're going to give me what I want. I know you're going to give me that, respect, the attention, and then what if you made rules about having company over at a certain time in your house? This is another good thing because a lot of females do go by this type of rule, just like me. I started going by this rule about 5 years ago after I heard, and yeah, it might be a TV show and all this, but one thing is true is about women and boundaries. This is all falls under the category of boundaries. Don't accept company after a certain time at night when you don't want to. Like, you feel uncomfortable with people coming to your house at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. That is your God-given right to set those type of boundaries and say, hey, I don't want you coming to my house after 10 o'clock at night or after 11 o'clock. If you can't come to my house before then don't come at all. And then here's another thing. What I think is cute and sweet at the same time is when it comes to morning times and the guy likes to come over and surprise a female with a cup of coffee or a drink, whatever the case is, that's the only time you could actually say, okay, he's thoughtful, he's sweet, and he's coming at a nice time, at an appropriate time, because this is when I get to wake up, start my day, and before I go to work, let me share a cup of coffee, a cup of tea with this man. After all, he made it his business to get up out of his bed, come over to me before he goes to work to give me a cup of coffee. Or he comes over with a bouquet of flowers. That's the only time you can welcome him and be like, okay, yeah, that's sweet. Because one, he came not empty-handed. He came with a cup of coffee in his hand. He came with flowers. And he came at an appropriate time. Not after 10 o'clock at night, not 3 in the morning. He came early in the morning. If he sees that it's too late, it's already after 10 o'clock, he's going to have that respect for you to be like, okay, I'm going to let her know I'll be here early in the morning. And I'm not going to treat her like she's some, 3 a.m. booty call and try to sneak over there late at night, see if I can get up in that drawers. This is why it's like, you can't always say that everybody is the same. Don't put everybody in the same category. But yeah, it's very hard to find those type of men that you can get to respect your boundaries. But here's the thing. If you're dealing with somebody who barely knows how to respect boundaries, now is the time to teach them how to respect boundaries. Teach them how to treat you right. Teach these peoples, anybody. This goes for friends too, because friends do cross the line. But mainly this is about men and the men you're dating. Because like I said, I used to be one of those women that was dating those type of men who didn't care about boundaries, that was always coming to my house every night after 10 o'clock, or they would even call my phone late at night. And here's another thing that I do that I thought was the best decision ever. I put my phone on vibrate. I can't cut my phone off for medical reasons because of my situation, and my next of kin is my aunt. But I do put my phone on vibrate, and I know when my aunt calls versus how I know everybody else calls, because my aunt never calls me after 8 o'clock at night. She never in her life ever calls me after 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. My aunt always calls me during the daytime or after work. And if she does call me after 8 or 9 o'clock, it'll probably be something important. And she's the only person that gets to do that. And one, she's my blood, so she gets to do that no matter what. But if it's anybody else that's not my boyfriend or whatever case is, we set in boundaries. Because one, I like my sleep just like how you like your sleep. Just like how you have a job, I have a job. If I need to get up in the morning for an appointment, I am not going to answer my phone. And I damn sure ain't going to answer my door. I will let you call me all night. I will let you knock on my door all night, and I would not answer it. And sweetie, and what's even better is that I'm a heavy sleeper. So I'm definitely not going to hear it. So that's another boundary that I put up for guys, is to not call me on my phone after 10 o'clock at night. Do not do not knock on my door after 10 o'clock at night. And another thing I love about my building where I live at is that the door is always locked downstairs in the lobby. So ain't no way in the hell that anybody could come in unless you wait for somebody to get out. And that's very rare, because once everybody's in the house, maybe around 9 o'clock the latest, nobody is getting out the house at that time because everybody got to work. So that's just some of the things I wanted to bring to y'all ladies, is don't ever settle, and don't let somebody disrespect your boundaries, and put a stop to it. It doesn't matter how long you've been together for, and it doesn't matter how much you love this man, because at the end of the day, the man treats you exactly how he feel about you. And it's up to you to have the strength to get up and to keep it moving. Like I say, use the pullback method. Pull back once you start seeing the boundaries being crossed. So I'm going to spend the rest of my night watching my videos, enjoying my night. You know, I just finished eating dinner, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow. Love, deuces. Good night, sweeties.